Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about obviously sports with comedians as we wait for the comedians to jump into the show. Let me bring in Maurice Smith. Mo, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Frank? What's going on, baby?
How's everything,
Good day,
bro?
good day.
Yeah, it definitely is, but it's one of those amazing days to talk about sports. So let me make sure I fix this right. Let me get this. Yeah, okay, I think I got it right. All right, I think I had it right. I think I had it right. As we wait for everybody else to jump in the show, fix my.
Okay.
There you go. Like, I'm waiting for Howie, waiting for Spank, you guys to jump in. All right, so Mo, while we wait for everybody else to jump in the show,
Yeah.
let me ask you a couple of questions. About the NBA playoffs, and let me obviously bring up my NBA playoff banner. There we go. Playoff discussion. There we go. It's time to jump into the NBA playoff discussion. So, Mo, everybody's talking about right now. Um, obviously the playoffs and everything else, but what's also is underlined in a lot of the sports conversations, which I find very interesting, is people are talking about who's going to get traded, who's going to move, who's going to go here, who's going to go there. The most interesting part of the discussion I heard out the gate this morning was Kevin Durant to the Philadelphia 76ers, which I don't see how they would be able to pull that off. That don't. Matter of fact, that
You
makes
know
me
what?
shudder.
You know
That, but
what? I wouldn't be surprised because they make dumb moves. And I'm not saying anything bad about Kevin Durant, but financially, Philly has not been mentally stable. I want to say the
mm.
past 10 years.
So you think Philly would so you're saying it makes sense? Let me. Howie Bell's in the building. Howie, how you doing, sir?
What's going on,
I'm not
fellas?
I'm not saying what's going on, Howie. I'm not saying it would make sense. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia did something like that and just
Mm,
ruined Philadelphia some more. Because Kevin Durant ain't coming cheap.
right,
And
right,
they're
right.
already paying him B. And they got Tyrese Maxey there. Man, listen, did they just sign him or getting ready to sign him? I don't know his financial status at the moment, but Philly does things like that and screw up.
So Howie Bell, this is what we talk about. We talk about the rumor right now is that the rumor is Kevin Durant probably will go. Not necessarily will go, but the rumor is Kevin Durant to the Philadelphia 76ers. So I wanted to ask you what your thought is. About Philadelphia 76ers acquiring Kevin Durant. And if it is KD, it's got to be for Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? It's got to be. That's the only thing that makes
Yeah, I don't see them both being there, but if they both, maybe that'll help Embiid, toughen up a little bit. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? And get his game together. Maybe he needs somebody else like a Durant, to
mhm,
get, to team up with. So I actually that scenario will be a better one, you know what I'm saying, than Embiid not being there.
mhm.
But with Embiid not being there, it's like what is Durant doing? Who else is really, really, really there? You know what I'm saying, to take him to a, that championship level. So
Right,
I
right.
don't I don't I don't know if that's a good idea if MB is not involved.
Right. So Mo, they also talking about. I'm gonna run this past you too. Also, discussion is that the Joker looked like he's gonna get traded because Denver's not happy with the situation. Obviously, with them not getting to the Western Conference Finals or winning the whole thing. So discussions is on NBA circles and a lot of these NBA boards I went to today is that do you break up the Denver Nuggets? And if you do, where does the Joker go? Because that's the thing that they want to obviously get younger because they're getting to be an older team. So the number one team, which we touched on this yesterday, the number one team where all the boards are saying that the Joker lands is Golden State. So I guess what I wanted to ask you, man, what's your thoughts on should Denver break them up? If Denver does break them up, where should Joker land? Because we talked about this yesterday.
You know what? I don't think Denver should break it up. I really don't think Denver should break it up. I think they should keep it and try to add on to what they need and just figure out where. I mean, you was working with a team that wasn't 100%. Aaron Gordon was hurt with the hamstring. In this day and era, it's been something where it's like you don't get too many repeat champs. That was part of my hot topic. I just want to say that. Like, there's no repeat champs anymore. The past 7 teams have been every single different team. And the only team to do it twice within the past 7 years is Golden State. So now if
Mhm.
you can win 2 in 5 years or 2 in 7 years, you still a good team, legit. Why break it up? Who they gonna get to fill it in? I mean, nah, they were close. They just weren't 100%. No, you don't break it up.
Okay, so that makes sense. I understand what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree because to me, I think you got to get younger. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you got to get younger before. Let me say this: Kevin Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce were traded at the tail end of their prime when everybody in Boston was upset when they traded them. But with those two picks, we got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? So you got to let go. Howie, I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't do what Boston did with the Larry Bird era, where you hold on Larry Bird too long, and you hold on Robert Parrish too long, you hold on Kevin McHale too long, because those dudes get old. They'll get old real fast. And next thing you know, again, I'm using the Boston Celtics as an example. It took us almost 20 years to get another title again, because you held on to your assets too long in order for you to get, trade value. I'm saying the same thing to you, Howie. What's your thought process on this, man? Should the Denver Nuggets let go of their gold piece? Should they hold them together? Just talk to me, bro. What you think?
Well, I wouldn't compare the Joker at all to that Boston Celtics era and the legacy of it all at all. And I'm not even a Boston fan like that. I
No,
just
I'm not saying that. I'm only saying it because you hold on to your assets too long. I'm not saying
yeah, and I'm gonna answer. I mean, to answer your question,
Okay.
I get you, but it's a little different. I don't think that they've had him as an asset long enough. And
Okay.
so, yeah. So to that point, I don't know. I think he should stay. If he leaves, then hey, let him leave. Let him go to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him get him in there, baby. Come on. You know what I'm saying? We can take the Joker. We'll gladly accept. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Denver, if they break it up and bust it up, like I agree with him, it's a little premature.
Okay.
And it's just something that I wouldn't consider doing. But hey, it like he says, no more dominant teams like that. But people can get back and they can do it again. The Celtics had a chance. I just think they came down to coaching. You know what I'm saying, and knocked them out of there. No, nothing against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying, but people can still repeat. It can
Mhm.
happen. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. You just got to have the right chemistry all the way around, from coaching all the way down.
You definitely 100% do. Okay, so Mo, before we jump into the topics of the questions, I'm gonna ask one more round of questions of this. You get the first one up. There's gonna be a big trade this season. If it ain't it might be Kevin Durant. It might be Nikola Jokic. Who do you think is gonna be, and where you think they're gonna go? Because something happens every single season. You know what I mean? Every off season, something happens. Who you see that?
A big trade, a big trade.
Something happens.
I,
Something gonna happen.
I think somewhere in the mix, San Antonio does something. I'm
Mm.
not 100% sure, but for right now, outside of a few other teams, San Antonio was one of the best teams sitting pretty. They still got players on their team that are high caliber, high performance play. They got De'Aaron Fox and they got Victor Wembanyama and they got the number 2 pick. I don't know. I can't put my finger on the player, but I'm putting it on the team. San Antonio's going to do something. I just don't know what.
That's a good pick because San Antonio got a lot of picks too, and they got a young team. They're definitely a team of the future. Howie, same question. There's gonna be a big mix. There's gonna be a new somebody gonna do something. Who you see it's gonna be, and where you think they're gonna go?
Hey man, Durant, back to OKC, man. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
I think that they can pop it off and then possibly repeat next year. Here we go. Here's the start of that. Once again, we're just talking about OKC has a great opportunity to win it all this year and win it all next year, especially with a big trade like a Durant.
Yep, I can't even argue with that pick. That's 100%. That's a good look. I like that. All right,
Yes, sir.
so it's time to get the show started. Mo, you up? You ready for this? You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm first today.
Yeah, you first today
I'm
because
first today.
Howie came in second, so we're gonna keep the same rotation so I don't get mixed up. Nothing to do with you, nothing to do with Howie. I just don't want to get mixed up by whose turn it is. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah,
do
no problem. I ain't scared of being first.
that. There it is.
The money still spend the same. The laughs are still the same. Long as we getting the clicks, baby, at first, second, third, I don't care.
All right, so good. You up? Give me your top 5 of your best players to never win a championship in any sport. Your top 5 best players that you like that never won a championship in any sport.
Well, you know what? I mean, I just all of mine stuck with the NBA. My first one is Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tracy McGrady fan. You know, long before he got injured, when him and Kobe were young at the same time, I had him as a better player than Kobe at that
Mhm.
time. I'm not going to go into the you know when they got older because Tracy wasn't able to perform because of the injuries. But I always had Tracy McGrady up there. But he made the Hall of Fame as one of the few players to not get a ring. It wasn't that big controversy when he got to the Hall of Fame, but he got it. My
Right.
next one, of course, Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Pat ain't got a ring yet. You know, I don't even think Pat got a ring as a coach yet. Did anybody did he even coach a ring? You know, as an assistant? Nope.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing.
My next one, Sean Kemp.
Mm.
That was
Great
Sean
play.
Kemp would be put out the NBA right now with the dunks he was putting on people and with the pointing and all that. I mean, listen, to take it away, not to take away from LA, that was Showtime at that era. Whoo, Sean Kemp. Number two, Mark Jackson.
Mm. Yeah.
Mark Jackson, man, getting dissed by the Knicks. If he stayed with the Knicks, if the Knicks let Pat Riley do his thing, man, ain't no telling what would have happened to our franchise. You
Yeah.
Y'all
know
would
what
have
I'm
won a chip.
saying?
Y'all would have won a chip. I fairly believe that.
We
Yeah.
don't we might have won a few chips.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what would have happened with our franchise. And number one person, my ex, she ain't got married yet. She only talk about our wife material, our wife and material. But ain't nobody wifed your ass yet. You
She
still
never
walking
won.
around here talking about you wife material. You ain't got no ring, huh?
She never won.
She ain't got
And get this, she playing auto sports too, huh? Huh, Mo?
Right.
All right, Mo. Thank you for that list. I appreciate that list. Howie Bell, give me your top five best players to never win a ring championship.
Man, it's a lot of great players that never won rings, man, and never got championships. That was funny. But I tell you, man, I got to start in baseball, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember Ernie Banks. Remember Ernie
Yeah.
oh
Banks, Mr.
yeah.
Cub, man. Yeah, man, played 19 seasons with the Cubs, man. He never ever even made it to the postseason,
Mm.
ever,
Damn.
and that's sad, bro. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? All star, 2-time All Star. I mean, he just, I mean, great. I'm sorry, 2-time MVP, 14-time All Star, and
Hmm.
never made it to the postseason. I loved him as a kid. And got to stay with baseball. Ken Griffey Jr.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
that's a
mm.
good pick. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Man, listen, bro, one of the best. You know what I'm saying? He had that flash and pizzazz like Dion had with the jury, and he was doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was killing it. Ken Griffey was the man. You know what I'm
Sure
saying?
was.
Hmm.
Was the man, dog. And man, that never got it, man. Never did it with either team. Um, I gotta go to my man Charles Barkley. As much as he make me laugh, I felt sorry for him when he just couldn't get it, man. He
Hmm.
tried his hardest, bro. You know what I'm saying? Switching
He sure
teams and
did.
everything. Couldn't do
Mhm.
it. You know what I'm saying? Just couldn't get over the hump. He went to the finals. But just lost, man, and couldn't get over the hump. He's a star right now and a champion at broadcasting, but couldn't get that ring. I think that's why he'd be mad at Shaq. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, they used to have them fights and brawls, but I think him not having that ring,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
only got one. They used to talk about that sometimes. Um, Dan Marino, man,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Dan
yeah.
Marino, man, one of the best ever to throw a football. Never won a Super Bowl. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And just it was an incredible, phenomenal player. And I got to put him up there with my man at number one. You already know what's going to be the ultimate football player. All just one of the best running backs of all time. The greatest, Barry Sanders. Never
Yeah,
got the Super Bowl. That's
yeah.
sad for me to even say that. I to look at y'all right now and say that out of my mouth made me almost shed a tear. That
Mhm.
Barry Sanders did not get to a Super Bowl as awesome and as incredible he was as an athlete and a football player and as a person. That's my
My eyes are watering right now for Barry. My eyes are watering right now for Barry because Barry should have had one. As good as
Man.
Barry was, that was despicable.
Yes, it was.
Despicable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through mine real fast because ultimately there's some low hanging fruit and some crossover. Some of them said the same. Except for Cristiano Ronaldo for soccer, he won I don't know how many cups he won. He won a lot. His stats took up 2 pages. I was like, I can't keep reading it. For soccer, he is one of the best. Some people say he is the best to never win. I had number 4. I had Jim Kelly, man. Jim Kelly went to 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like getting a lottery ticket 4 times and you don't get it. And you miss that last number 1 time every single time. You know what I mean? And his worst part, he went 4 times straight. You know what I mean?
Straight.
He went 4 times straight, and his team was definitely one of the best. You know what makes me, somebody gave me an analogy. I heard an analogy. I think it was Paul Pierce said an analogy. If you win a boxing fight round and you win 9 rounds, and you win the 10th round, you win the 10th round, and you win in that round, so if you get hit with an uppercut and you get knocked out, who's the better fighter? The 9-round person or the person who threw the uppercut? You know what I mean? And I'm using that analogy because Jim Kelly was better for 4 years straight, 4 times, and still lost. You know what I mean? So Jim Kelly for that for me. And I had number 3, I had Barry Sanders, same thing as you got, Barry Sanders for that. And number 2, I had John Stockton, because John Stockton running around in them shorts, man, for a long time. John Stockton was one of the best point guards. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me he wasn't one of the best point guards in the league for a lot of time, like for a lot of years.
He wore those panties for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, he was the man. And number 1, I had Charles Barkley, man. I can't even front. I had Charles Barkley number 1 because his was the most disappointing. Because if y'all remember too, just like how you mentioned it, how y'all remember when he went to Phoenix was they were in a tight ship with the Chicago Bulls every year for the brief couple of years, and everybody's like, okay, they're gonna think of Jordan. But every time they did not get a chance. And Kevin Johnson, who was the point guard at the time, everybody's like, yo, he's a much better guard. He could do all this. He could do all that. Well, he obviously couldn't because he didn't win. So that's that. So I don't know. It's that. All right, let's move on. Mo, you got your list ready? Your top 5 NBA playoff fights that happened that shook up the league, that you noticed that was happening at the time that shook up the league all time.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say what I noticed, but I went back and researched a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? It was some good ones, too. I thought it wasn't going to be that many in the playoff. It was some good ones. I mean, some old school. Like these fights now, like my first one I got is the year Jimmy Butler was with Ben Simmons when they were in Philly and they were playing against the Brooklyn Nets, and Jimmy Butler pushed somebody. Ben Simmons tried to tee off on him, but then I started researching more. The next one I got is Bill Laimbeer versus Robert Parrish, 1987, Pistons and Celtics. Yo, I mean, they was squaring off, and the refs let them tee off for like a good 5 seconds. That's the whole thing about this era. They got a good 3 to 5 seconds. Like, you better get it in now, because after that, we jumping in the middle. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yo, Elijah Wan versus Mitch Kupchak, 1986.
Yeah.
Yo, that right there, I mean, like, Elijah Wan know how to throw them hands. He know how to, and I listen to the stories now with Maxwell talking about being with Elijah. Elijah Wan wasn't no punk. He wasn't soft at all. He was one of them, and he was the original Adebisi. If you don't know who Adebisi is, watch Oz. Maurice Lucas versus Darryl Dawkins, 1977. Portland versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Yo, this fight, I swear to God, this fight lasted longer than 5 of Mike Tyson's fights put together. I swear to God, they was in the middle of the floor swinging, and then it was. I'm just saying that you gotta go look it up, people. I hope you do. But my last one, the best one, the most famous one, Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, 1998, Knicks versus Heat, when you got Jeff Van Gundy holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg, getting dragged getting dragged down the street like
That
the
was
crash
funny.
you promised to give $5 and you said you'd be right back. He'd be like, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. I want my $5.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good list. How you think your research can top that list, Mr. Howie Bell?
I gotta give a shout out to Rasheed Thurman for that $5. So that's my man. Rest in heaven. Man, listen, check it out, man. It was a lot. So, but I gotta go. I gotta start with the Knicks. Y'all was in a lot of stuff too now. Knicks versus the
Yeah.
Heat. 1997, PJ Brown flipped Charlie Ward. You remember
That's right.
that? Boy, I said, man, I was looking back and looking at this category, I was like, man, so many. But I remember that specifically now. That was so funny. Everybody ran out. You know what I'm saying? People, that was a crazy brawl. All right, I gotta go with the Suns versus the Spurs. I don't think y'all remember this, but this was a funny one. When Robert Horry hip checked Steve Nash into the scorer's table.
Yeah.
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 They knocked in, man. When I tell you that's back, like you said, that era of basketball, man. So back, they was just people, and that was a little later. That was in 07, but you know, that just basketball changed a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could do a lot. I gotta go with the Knicks again versus the Pacers. And y'all always fight. Knicks versus the Pacers. Reggie Miller and John Starks.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they got into it. The whole teams, the whole squad, both teams brought.
That's right.
Yeah, that was big time. Yeah, that was big. And then I gotta go with this one, man. The Lakers versus the Celtics, and Celtics got so many fights. Everybody talk about the Pistons, but I'm gonna tell you this: the Celtics, Kevin McHale clotheslined Kurt Rambis.
That's
In
mine.
1984.
In the finals. Yeah. Let's bring it.
Hey, look, that was white on white crime.
I like
Houston
that
didn't go down like that all the time, but that was yeah. But then still got to go to my number one. He clotheslined too. 1991 Bulls versus the Pistons. Scottie Pippen got clotheslined by Bill Laimbeer. Had a big brawl, and we was the sore losers that year. We lost the game, everything. It was really it for us. So we just went out fighting.
Sometimes somebody, you know how it is, man. These people are sore losers when they lose. Sometimes, you know what I mean. There's some
I'm whooping somebody's ass.
I'm whooping somebody's
ass.
Well, we getting ready to start a new segment, a couple of new segments, and we're gonna stop the show for every second and now and then and everything else. And right now, we got to get ready to ring the bell with Howie Bell. You get your 2 minutes, Howie. You get your 2 minutes to get ready to tell us.
Ding, 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 ding. I should have had me a little bell.
You gotta get a bell.
Yeah. Get one. I'm giving me a bell. Hey, listen, man, for this segment of Howie Bell, first segment of Ring the Bell with Howie Bell, I want to ring the bell on this Diddy court case real quick, and I want to just, switch it up, you know what I'm saying, a little bit and go into some legalities. I'm not a lawyer, nor have I ever claimed to be one, or have I played one on TV. Maybe I have. I think I did play one in a movie called Once Upon a Time in Detroit, filmed and shot by Joe Blunt. Sets aside, shot out. But here we go. Listen, man, what's going on? Only thing I've learned about this case is piss. That's the only thing I've learned about is how people like to enjoy piss and how crazy people do sexual things and how people are violent and they like to fight each other and then go piss on each other again and put it in there and do more wild, bizarre things. I haven't heard one thing about racketeering, one thing about sex trafficking. The only thing I know is how freaky and nasty of a society that I've never been a part of. And that's me ringing the bell.
Perfect timing. Every time. Now it's time to jump back into the show. We're going to come back and jump into the show. We're going to make sure we get ready to we got to introduce my man Spanky Hayes is in the show. Spanky, how you doing, sir?
I am great. I'm on drugs.
Spanky, we literally are asking people right now. We said, what was your? I forgot where we left off. Oh, the NBA playoff fights. You got your list of your 5 NBA playoff fights that was shocking to you, strange to you, whatever. You got your list?
Okay, I'm ready. I think I'm
There
ready.
you go. Give me your
All right.
5 NBA playoff
Now,
fights.
I'm sure because of my brilliant twin brother, Howie Bell, is from Detroit as well. I'm sure that he said the Malice in the Palace. So I'm going to reiterate.
I don't know if that was during the playoffs, though.
No, we got the same one. How about that? I thought that was mine.
I don't know if Malice in the Palace was during the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it wasn't during the playoffs.
Okay, well, okay.
But I'll let you get that one. That's one. Keep going, Spank. Keep going,
Spank. The Malice of the Palace, I will say, Draymond Green in any playoffs. He is very celebrated for kicking LeBron in the nuts, which I wish I could do that too. Mm-hmm. He is celebrated by kicking what's the dude that looked like the Pringle Man? He's the big center. He's a center, and he's on a. Seems like he's on a different team every year. Samuel, whatever, whoever.
Oh, okay. Adams.
Steven
Adams. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the third, I would say, almost any playoff that Stephen Curry is in, because he always getting beat up and he can't go in the hole. He get man, they dog Stephen Curry out, man. Let's see. For my fourth one, I will say when Cat Williams got beat up by the 15-year-old wrestler. And I will say for my fifth, I would like to add when Lambert got pummeled by probably your grandfather, Mr. Holder, the big black guy on the Celtics back in the day. He was the only
Robert Parrish.
Robert Parrish. And who I remember the most, side note, on that squad was the guy with the freckles.
Dennis Johnson.
There we go. The
I'm glad you think I'm that young, Spank. I appreciate that. He said that's my grandma. I appreciate that. I like that.
Thank you.
Let me give y'all my 5 fights right there. I'm gonna go through them real fast. 5 for me was Bill Lambert when he fought Patrick Ewing. I know y'all remember that Eastern Conference final. Yeah. I like that was a fight. Michael Jordan versus John Starks was one that had me jumping. I forgot about that one. That one. You know what I mean? That was one that was. Listen, that was on Sports Center for a week. Then you got Reggie Miller versus Kobe Bryant in 2003 Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? I like that one. That was a nice little scuffle. But Michael Jordan versus Reggie Miller in the 1995 playoffs was something that nobody gonna ever forget because they both got called. You know what I mean? Remember they did all. I know y'all remember that. That was pretty funny. Kind of. But number one for me, Howie Bell stole my thunder on that one, man. That has to be Kevin McHale when he tackled Kurt Rambis. You want to say tackle? Is it a good word to say? He tackled Kurt Rambis. Tackle, whatever you want to say. I know he got to run and start, Howie. I know he got to run and start. Because he can't run.
He got to run and start.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Ready, set, go.
Go.
Yeah, he got to run and start. I know he did that. But since now we did that, man, look, we did the NBA playoff. We did the NBA playoff fights. We did we did not do the top 5 in living color moments, man, because we talked about the playoffs, everything else. We like to mix it up real fast before we give everybody else this segment. The next segment is going to come up. We got to have Mo do his segment. And then after that, we got, Spank doing his segment. But Howie Bell, man, give me your funniest top 5 in living color moments, because, we like to switch it up a little bit real fast.
All right, man. Well, shit. Excuse my language, but it was a million of them. Oh my god!
I couldn't even pick 5. I
this is so funny, But I tell you this, man. As people used to laugh at things, man, more than they do now. Everybody is so sensitive. Because I'm gonna tell you, men on films had to be hands down, one of the funniest sketches that they
Oh,
ever did. I mean, that whole hated it, that whole
Yeah.
they didn't like any kind of movie that was about girls. They like masculine movies. with
Moby,
menses and all that,
Moby
man. You
Dick.
gotta give it up, man. That was one of the greatest. All right, there's so many. I'm gonna hurry up and get through. When Tommy Davidson did the MC Hammer sketch,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh yeah. Oh
got,
yeah. Yeah.
got to be one of the big pants, and he was dancing. It was just so big, it was huge, incredible sketch, man, incredible. Uh, Jim Carrey played so many, but I'm gonna tell you, this is one of my favorite. When he played the karate instructor, that was supposed to be like this great world champion, man, with these, and he was coaching these females, and he was like,
Yeah.
take this knife and try to come at me, man.
no,
Yeah, she stabbed him, and he said, no, come like this. Then she stabbed him again. Oh my God. It
Yeah.
had to be one of the most hilarious things I ever saw. And then Damon Wayans, man. Guys, my last two is him. Damon Wayans as the inmate when he was in jail and he was just everything, to philosophize, reconsider the probabilition of the circumstance of the retina, man. Listen, bro.
I was crying.
You
I
can't
remember
get
that.
no better than that, nigga. And
I
then
was-
second one was which is the best. You had the homie the clown as honorable mention. I gotta put that in there. But when he played Anton Jackson, the bum,
oh yeah.
the
oh
Oh
yeah.
street
yeah,
bum dude,
yeah,
man, that got
yeah.
to be
Oh,
some of the best acting and some of the best comedy that I've ever seen, bro. When he was in court, man, oh God,
Yeah.
that's it. That's my top, man. I go through it all, but in living color, kudos to them, man, because it's so many. Great
Hey,
show, great television. Back when people
Mo,
wasn't selling.
give me your five.
all right, my five started off the Homeboy Shopping Network. When I first saw that, yo, I swear to God, when Keaton and David with the Homeboy Shopping Network, man, that it was hilarious because I'm a big watching like shows like that Saturday Night Live and all that, and Saturday Night Live was corny too at that point. So I was like,
Mhm.
yo, the Homeboy Shopping Network, I'm watching this next week. The boxing family skit. Remember, it was like Mike Tyson. I think Muhammad Ali was in it. They had somebody playing Muhammad Ali. Then they had Jim Carrey playing Cooney's son, and
Mhm.
Tyson tapped him on the jaw, and he just
Yeah.
started bleeding. All of a sudden, he was like hey, you can't pull with blood just start coming out of his mouth. The boxing family skit. To me, I love the intro song with Heavy D. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, hip hop wasn't what we know hip hop as now. So
Right.
to have a rap song to be the intro for a major television show back then, that was big. I don't even think nobody had done that yet with a
Mhm.
real rap star. Heavy D, that was dope. Just right there, you got hooked just with the intro.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. My favorite character, my favorite actor on there is David Allen Greer out of
Mhm.
everybody.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Mhm.
David Allen Greer is my favorite, just not just in living color, just him, period, man. He just him on My Wife and Kids, him on, I mean, everything, him when he was on Martin. Like he had characters on iconic sitcoms that had to have reoccurring roles on every single sitcom. You know what I'm saying? This
Mhm.
dude, he's a, and my last one, it was one where go back to David Allen Greer, where he was just sit in a restaurant and just yell out stupid stuff, like stupid things. And one of the lines he said, Michael Jackson was Puerto Rican. I thought that was the funniest line I
All right.
ever heard in
I
my
put it down.
life. 'Cause that's what Mike was just going on, turning light skin. He was like, Michael Jackson, Puerto Rican.
All right, Spank, it's your turn. You got your top five in living color moments.
Unfortunately, that was an iconic, show, and these guys already kind of nailed it. But I will say, the Mike Tyson when they used to do the
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
in any scenario you put Mike Tyson in, that was always funny. And I always liked the two guys that Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson played where they were backstage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah,
wouldn't let Tupac in. They wouldn't let Tupac in one night.
that's
Yeah.
what I was.
Yeah. That was funny. That was
What I
funny.
like my man said, Heavy D on the thing, rest in peace, Heavy D. Cat Williams introduced me to Heavy D. Took me to
Oh,
his.
that's
Unfortunately, I don't have 5 of them like Howie
That's
Mitchell.
fine. That's fine. We'll keep it moving.
Million of them.
Yeah,
So
we'll
hard
keep
to pick.
moving. We'll keep moving. We got to take a
Shout out
pause
to
for the
Kim Wayans.
cars.
Shout out to Kim Wayans. That's my favorite cast member, and my favorite Wayans is Kim Wayans.
So we got to take a pause for the cars for a second because now it's time for Mo to do his segment, and his segment is "Sit Your Ass Down" with Mo. Mo, you got 2 minutes starting now. You ready?
Yeah, sit your ass down right now because you know what, the Knicks are winning. And my first sit your ass down is to everybody who said the Knicks is not celebrating like they should be celebrating because we celebrating like we won the championship and we ain't won nothing. Don't you know we stupid in New York? They dumb in New York. They don't know what they doing in New York. We ain't had nothing in New York. Y'all say act like y'all won something. When the last time we won something?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we acting like we ain't had nothing, man. We ain't did nothing in 25 years. We know the Yankees run New York, but the New York favorite child is the New York Knicks. And nobody thought the Knicks were gonna beat Boston. We once again slayed a New England Giant. Again. Sit your ass down. And my last sit your ass down is to the New York fans that beat up the dude with the Indiana Pacers jersey on. Like, I understand riding people, yelling at them, talking shit and everything else. But when you get to they physically abusing somebody, then you're taking it a little bit too far. But to the dude that wore the jersey in the middle of a riot just after New York beat Boston, your dumb ass should have never been out there with the jersey on. You should have known better.
Sorry.
Sit your ass down.
I gave you that, Mo. I gave you that. That went on with the timer. So now he got that. Now next up, we got coming up in about 3 more minutes. We got Spanky with his. So Spank, hang tight. We got yours coming up. Now let's jump back into the rest of the show. We did the top 5 NBA playoff fights. We did the underrated coach. Now it's time for the best nicknames that we enjoyed or we thought was craziest or whatever. The top 5 best nicknames in any sport. I know you got, man. I know you went to the crates with this one. Howie Bell always goes to crates. Howie Bell.
Went to the racks. We went to the racks.
It's on me. It might be, low hanging fruit, man, because these are just great nicknames for the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And I got to start with my man because I'm a hockey fan by default because I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? But he's not a Detroit player. But Wayne Gretzky, they used to call him the Great One.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a nickname. You know what I'm saying? The Great One. You know what I'm talking about? And since we on that, I got to go with my man Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's a hell of a nickname right there. You know what I mean? When he started saying the Black Mamba, I was like, "Ooh, that's sweet. That fit my man." He's the Black Mamba, baby. And then, I always got to go with Iron Mike. Y'all talk about Mike Tyson in Living Color. Iron Mike is a sweet name because it definitely fit his protocol and everything about him. Iron Mike Tyson was one of the best, man. And of course, the greatest, Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? His nickname was the greatest. He called himself the greatest. Anybody who called himself the greatest and be the greatest is definitely the damn greatest. I don't care who you are. And my number one nickname, of course, I got to go back to Detroit. My man, Megatron. Nobody in football and nobody really in sports has a sweeter nickname than Megatron. You're named after a transformer. You know what I'm saying? That's incredible. That's those are my top 5 best nicknames.
Would have been dope if he had every time he was introduced, it would have had that sound. It would have been dope.
Yeah. With the,
and it was the bad transformer too. He was the villain. He was the villain. It wasn't like Optimus Prime. He was Megatron.
It was a Decepticon.
Yeah, there it is.
That's right. He was a Decepticon.
Here you go, Mo. It's your turn. Your turn, Mo.
All right, number 5 for me, George Iceman. George the Iceman. I thought just to be called the Iceman. Baby, you got to have ice in your veins for the whole league, and not just the nickname, the poster. Remember the poster sitting on the block of ice?
Oh yeah. With the silver ball.
With the silver, that's right. Chocolate Thunder. I mean, listen, back then it was Black Pride and everything, so Chocolate Thunder.
Not the crooked fist. Keep going. Keep going.
I always thought this was cool because it was a friend of mine in high school when we played football. He loved it, and he'd always wear white shoes. Remember Billy White Shoe Johnson? When he ran, all you see was his white shoes. And a friend of mine, we played football. It made me just notice it. I was like, yo, that is so dope because it was like you couldn't catch him. White shoe. And my last two, of course, when you talk about the greatest, the captain, Derek Jeter, Mr. November. He got the whole month to himself. You know what I'm saying? He's better than a whole lot of nationalities. Puerto Ricans only get one day, depending on what day is available at City Hall.
Yep. Yep. He got that. He got
that. My last one is Mr. October, baby. If you're gonna be Mr. November, you gotta have Mr. October. They even made a candy bar after him, Mr. October, all the time.
Here it is. So Spank you up now. Give me your top 5 best nicknames in any sport that you like, and then we can follow you up right there with the who got you. You got Spank with Spanky Hayes too. We gonna follow it up with that. So keep going.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the mailman, Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Although I tried to talk to Vanessa when Kobe died. That's kind of terrible.
You're trying to deliver.
Right. I'm gonna go with the Worm, John Sally.
Yeah.
No, Rodman, I'm sorry. The Worm.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna go with Chef Curry.
That's
then I'm
3.
gonna go with something that's kind of Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. His name is Zeke. Magic Johnson. Although everybody called him Magic. He was so popular, I thought the Orlando Magic was Magic Johnson's when they first came out. Magic Johnson, man. And then I'm gonna go with the bus, Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because he could run through anywhere. Yeah.
All right, I like that. I like those 5. Let me do my 5 real fast, and we're gonna come back to you guys Spank. My 5 is pretty simple. I think it's low hanging fruit, honestly. To me, 5 for me, William the Fridge Perry. You know what I mean? That was good.
I almost said that. Man.
Yeah, I like him, and I like Deion Sanders because he had prime time. That's my number 4.
Yeah.
Number 3, very low hanging fruit because that's for me. Michael Jordan was named Air Jordan. I thought that was really dope. I had number 2. I had somebody said I had Megatron, Calvin Johnson, but my number 1, and because I'm representing. It's got to be Big Papi. You know how I roll, y'all. Y'all know Big Papi. Come on, man. Big Papi killed it. I loved Big Papi.
He did. He did.
Yes. So now it's time to. Okay, I don't know what happened to Spank. I'm getting. All right, there goes Spank. Spank, you ready for yours, Spank? We get ready to do this, man. You got Spank with Spanky Hayes. So Spank, we got a thing queued up for you. Do you want to? Let's see. White chocolate. We got what we got in the background. White chocolate. We got Daniel Perkins and Clarissa Shields. You ready? You want to do that one? We're gonna drop that.
Yeah.
We'll drop that first, and you can talk about that one. Here you go. Happened to it.
Riding and swimming through those shots. Oh my goodness! Big shot. What a shot from Clarissa Shields!
It's time for you guys Spank with Spanky Hayes. Spank, talk to me.
Definitely, she was big and tall and older. She was like 40. She should have whooped Carissa like her younger sister or like her daughter or like she got spanked. Carissa Shields spanked the shit out of her. Danielle, what was her name? Danielle Perkins. I forgot her name. Her dreadlocks was shorter after Carissa beat the shit out of her, man. She got spanked by Carissa.
That's just what you want to talk about one more? Oh, because you got time. You got
Okay.
one more
Yeah. I want to say shout out to Jalen Rose. He got spanked by Kobe Bryant, and the whole Raptor team got spanked when Kobe put 81 points on Jalen Rose. So Jalen Rose, my boy, you got spanked. Straight up.
There it is. All right, now it's time for us to bring in Howie Bell. Howie Bell, you ready for this? Here
What's
it is,
up, brother?
the top 5 NBA playoff matches that you'd like to see this time next year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man. Jesus. Yeah. It's so many, and it's still mounting up, you know what I mean, to kind of, the anticipation for next season. But I tell you this, though, I know Denver's not in it right now. I would love to see how that matchup would have been if they can say, if Joker can stay there, like we talked about earlier. Denver and the Timberwolves.
Mhm.
I think that is a hell of a playoff matchup. I would love to see how the Ant-Man and them did that. Obviously, it's not going to happen this year. But that is something that next year I would like to see, given all the circumstances work out with that. I want to see Boston and New York again next year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that rematch. I want to see that as bad as, I would love to see, which is another of my picks, which is the New York-Detroit series. I do want to see the Boston and New York. So however that goes, I want to see that mix up again, or those exchange of games again, you know what I'm saying, between those teams. I think that it brought a lot of excitement to the NBA. And I think that I heard one announcer say when the Detroit Pistons are in the playoffs, the NBA is good. And I feel the same way. It's better. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the Eastern Conference. Adds a little more different, a little more grit. So, and New York too. So I would love to see Boston, New York, or Detroit, New York matchup. I also would love to see for one more time Golden State and the LA Lakers. One more time that LeBron and Curry matchup. One more time. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see it because I think that both these guys, of course, premier players, we already know their history and their track record, but they're at the end of the road. And, I would like to see before it all said and done, them match up again. And my last one, I would like to see, and I haven't seen one of these matchups in a long time, and they used to play these type of matchups on TV all the time, and that's the Harlem Globetrotters against the Washington Generals. I haven't seen a good fake basketball game that you knew was fake in a long time. And I want to see the Washington Generals get up there and act like they're gonna win and still lose, and we all knew it was gonna happen. It's like the soap opera of basketball.
How you must not be watching the NBA playoffs with all this coaching and refereeing going on. So a lot of it look fake to me, but that's a whole other conversation. All right, Mo, it's your chance. You up, man? Give me your top 5 NBA playoff matches you'd like to see this time next year.
The Spurs and OKC. Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama got beef going way back before they even came over to America, before they even got into the NBA. Yeah. I would love to see those teams, OKC, the Spurs, and OKC. Yeah, that'd be a good one. A healthy Clippers team versus Minnesota.
Yeah,
I think that would be a hell of a matchup. Kawhi Leonard, Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, Ant-Man has to basically, go through the league to solidify himself. He's already slayed a few dragons. So if he were to take down Kawhi Leonard, that'd be another notch on his belt, man, for real. West Coast pimps versus East Coast pimps. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to be a West Coast pimp. You get any hoe to go out there and sell it at 80-degree weather. Let me see you get it out there with his 10 below and bring that right money back. You know what I'm saying? West Coast pimps versus East Coast pimps. I ain't got nothing against the West Coast pimps, but it's easier than being an East Coast pimp.
Yeah.
No, get that chick to go out there in the middle of a nor'easter. Power versus Wire. I want to see Power versus Wire next year. Some kind of animation. Could you imagine Avon Barksdale, Marlo, and Omar running up on Ghosted Tommy? Come on, man. Power versus Wire. It would be phenomenal if somebody were to figure out how to make it in another universe, because everything is in different universes these days. So the power versus wire. I would love to see that. And the last one, Knicks and Celtics. When JT went down, I knew the first thing everybody was going to say was, if he didn't get hurt, we would have won. Whatever.
I gotta say, man, I need them disclaimers that say the views of this is not, you know what I mean, by the, you know, I forgot how they say it, but basically what he's saying, he don't stand. And that's number one. And number two, I gotta say, Mo, I could tell you smoke, bro. Like we could tell you smoke, because bro, some of the stuff you think of, like, wow, I don't even think of that stuff. West Coast pimp versus East Coast pimp. I don't know. Frank, man, you up? Give me your top 5 player matchups you like to see this time next year.
First of all, I want to address Mo and say I am a West Coast pimp, and you wrong.
So you can get them out there and
that's all I
too?
That one. Okay. So I want to say I want them to run back the Golden State versus Minnesota, only because Stephen got hurt, and to me that's why they won. Before he got hurt, they was up. I want to say that. I would love to see the Knicks versus the Pistons again, because I feel like the Pistons is like one player away. If they had one superstar on that team, they would have beat the Knicks. 2, I want to see Philadelphia 76ers just be in the playoffs. They're absent when it comes to the playoffs. And I would like to say that the Washington Bullets, I just want to say, God bless you. Because you got Jordan Poole. You probably never get to.
You said the Bullets. That is so funny. They might as well be the Bullets.
They might as well be the Bullets.
He said the Bullets. He did say the Bullets.
Yeah. Bullets, Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give you that. I give you that. That was 5, right? Was that 5? That was 5. Yeah, that was 5. All right, so I'm gonna give you mine real fast, and then I'm gonna come back to I'm gonna come back to give me y'all 60 seconds. Number 5 for me, I want to see the Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. I want to see the young versus the old, so I'm really interested in that. Number 4 for me, I want to see the Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors, because obviously I want to see the Clay versus Steph thing. I'm interested in that. Then I want to see the number 3 for me. I want to see the Lakers versus the Mavericks, because I want to see how Luka would act up, you know what I mean, as a Laker against obviously the Mavericks, you know what I mean, the team he got traded for. That's how I'd like to see next year. Number 2 for me, I would love to see the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I think we got robbed of that this year. I think that would have been good to see number 1 versus number 2. But number 1 for me is, you know, for damn sure well, I want to see the Celtics play the Knicks and get rematch on their ass next year. I want to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I want it to be all the marbles, you know what I mean? The winner go home, the loser go to the finals. That's how I want it to be. So I think you're going to hear that from me all day long. So now, before we even move on to looking at the time, 60 seconds, Howie. What's going on in your mind right now? Sports topic of the world today. 60 seconds.
You know, I'm more interested than anything else in this whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark drama that's been building up, man, and it's been building and brewing since they were in college, and you know, their first seasons last year, and now it's back again. You know, from the hard files to the so-called racial slurs now coming at Angel Reese. Of course, she's been getting them before, I'm sure, but now it's kind of brewing up again, and I like how they have made, even before they got there, really, the WNBA has kind of taken it to another level. Of course, they've had other stars and women like that have done really good in WNBA. I just think that this new young blood, you know, rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, man, has got my attention right now. And I think that's one of the hot sports topics right now.
Okay. And you beat before your time. Excellent. It was before your time. I liked it. Mo, I'm glad you on it, White Chocolate. Mo, you ready for your 60 seconds?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm just amazed that
go.
I'm just amazed at how for the past 7 years, Boston, Denver, Golden State, Milwaukee, Lakers, Toronto, and again, Golden State have been the champions of the NBA, and nobody has done a back-to-back in 7 years. This league was basically built on teams doing back-to-back dynasties. That's how you created your identity in the league. Now the league has done something different where it's like anybody could be a championship if you put together the right scenario or if you make it through the playoffs, man. And I think it's kind of good because you're getting other people to get other teams that don't get that notoriety. Small market team, OKC, once again, Indy, to be in that, to be eligible, to be a part of that, which is bring revenue into that town. So kudos to the NBA. They got 7 straight, and you don't have to sit back with, we know who's going to the final. You don't know who's going to be in the finals now.
That's a good point. Good point. And I got to say, just to add on to that, it's because of the CBA. The CBA is keep structuring up now, so they're going to make it sure that you can't keep these teams together. And that's that's great for everybody else. You hate it if your team wins, but Okay, Spank, you ready? You on the clock? You got 60 seconds on your mind. What's on your mind today?
On my mind today is boxing. I love the sport of boxing. I just seen a post. I'm not sure if it's a fake post or a real post, that Tank Davis is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, if this happens, this will be the first time I ever rooted for Jake Paul. I wouldn't mind if he would beat the shit out of Tank Davis. I don't like Tank Davis. And plus, he cheats. He just lost a fight. He went down. He took a knee, and they didn't count it.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have did that, he would have lost the fight. I would have been a happier boxing fan. Tank Davis, I don't know. I just think that he gets too much hype. He has knocked out people. He is a knockout artist, but he will get beat up the whole fight until that one punch. To me, that's not great.
All right, that's your time. That's your time. That's what's on your mind today. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing that. I appreciate that. So now because there's not enough time, we're going to get ready to ask everybody obviously how we can follow you, what you got going on, whatever. Man, you get ready to take us out. We're going to start with Howie Bell first. Howie, man, tell us everybody out there how they can follow you, what you got going on.
Hey, great show, fellas. Well, I got going on is I'm in Flint, man, this Friday, and I got to give it to them. They got their water back. They got the water ban lifted just in time. So as soon as I get there, I'm gonna put it on film. I'm gonna drink me a cup of Flint water, and then Saturday morning I'm on my way to DC. I got a show with Joe Claire in Bowie, Maryland. So I'm out there with Talent and Ashima Franklin. So doing big things, man, in Bowie, Maryland, with my man Joe Bowie, Maryland, with Joe Claire.
Mo, tell us what you got going on, how we can follow you.
It's always MOE _ IG, Dysfunctional Ref IG, and you can catch me locally at the clubs out here, the Comedy Studio, Laugh Boston, of course. But shoot, they just called me to come cook, so I gotta go to work, man. I'm gonna do some of these shows and run straight to work. I'm cooking for the NCAA Lacrosse Championship held at Gillette Stadium this weekend, baby.
Here it is, and we got a disclaimer for you. Go ahead, White Chocolate. We got a disclaimer.
The views expressed by Mo are his own and do not represent or reflect the views of Box Seat. This great family show.
Every family got a pimp in it. Every family got a pimp. Every family got a pimp. They may not talk about them, but there's a pimp in their family.
Listen, this is a family show. No, we can't talk about that.
Mo, we might have to have White Chocolate repeat that. Don't make him have White.
We don't have time to repeat it. Next show. We'll repeat it every show if we have to.
Yeah. So, Spank, tell everybody out there how you can follow you, what you got going on, bro.
Mo, it's 2 pimps. But I am shooting a movie in the great state of New York City this weekend. And it's going to be fun. I am a bank robber, and I keep losing my breath. I wish I would have worked out before this. The most running I've done since high school. But God bless America. I will be at the House of Comedy today in Detroit tonight on Tuesday. My Instagram is Spanky Hayes, ENT, and my Facebook is Carlos Hayes, and that's what my mother calls me.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. White Chocolate, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I got a nickname. I did Howie a favor and went way back in the crates. Pud Galvin, the first MLB pitcher to win 300 games. He pitched from 1875 to 1892. And
wow.
Oil Can Boy. Nobody said Oil Can Boy from the Red Sox.
I thought of him. I thought of him, but Big Poppy was bigger. I like Big Poppy. Anyway, y'all, thank you all for watching. The show's called Box Seats. We'll be back on tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate all you all sharing it and obviously telling your friends and subscribing. We really appreciate that. 5,000 views yesterday. I don't know how. Maybe because everybody talk about the Knicks. I appreciate that. So I appreciate the Facebook love. Now we got to get it over to YouTube too. So if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate all that. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with these guys right here. You see us. We're gonna do more top fives, more obviously their skits they got going on and all that. We'll be right back. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Peace.
We'll be right back.